Okay, Sal, you can start your show. Sal, why don't you just start your show?
Me? Joanne?
Yeah, I'm here. Why don't you just go ahead and start your show?
I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I've been talking.
All right, go ahead.
All right, we're on live now.
We are.
Okay, folks, this is the Sal Sirchia Show. Welcome back. It's the show number 14, folks. And tonight we have a special guest. We have Michelle Shields, a young actress, model who is completely driven and focused with her career. Born and raised in the Chicagoland area, she has always had a passion for movies and filmmaking and acting. From a young age, it was obvious that she loved to entertain people, really enjoyed doing stand-up and skits for the family and friends. So let's bring on Michelle Shields. Michelle, you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
Hey, everybody's been going crazy. I've been putting your pictures up like crazy, and everybody's like, who's that gorgeous girl? Who's that? That's Michelle Shields, baby.
Well, everyone's too kind.
Yeah, and you sound fantastic, even though you're in the land of Chicagoland over there, and you sound like you're right around the corner, and worldwide internet radio, so even though you're in Chicago, people in Italy or France or London, they hear you just as clear as I do.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Yeah. So, Michelle, let's start. Let's talk about a little bit. Well, we're going to talk about what you've been doing now, but a lot of people have been asking me, wait, who's Michelle? I never, some people heard of you, some people are just hearing about you now, and I tell them she's been acting for a long time. I met you on MySpace back in maybe 2005, even.
Yeah, many years ago.
Yeah, more than that actually, because I'm hearing something repeat. Does somebody have their speakers on? Joanne, do you have your speakers on, Michelle?
No.
No, okay. I don't have mine. I turned mine off.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
All right, maybe it's just an echo or something going on, but no big deal. Now, Michelle, how old were you? I mean, what age did you decide you want to get into? When did you know you really wanted to be an actress and do modeling? And I mean, we're all young and we're growing up, but even I started late. Do you remember when you actually wanted to just start doing this, or did it just come naturally and you started doing it without even realizing it?
Well, I guess in a way it kind of came without me even realizing it, because I knew I wanted to be an actress since I was really little. I mean, when I first started talking and everything, it just kind of came naturally that I really liked to entertain and entertain people, and I was always a big movie buff growing up. I'd, rather sit and watch movies than hang out with friends or something. So I was always doing skits and recreating movie scenes and things like that. So I've always known it's something I've wanted to do, and it was just a matter of time before I got to do it, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, as long as you keep doing it, and then you just stay in there and stay focused, and it's when it's something you love to do, you're just going to do it no matter. There's nothing could stand in your way. Now, I see. I'm looking at your stuff here. In 2006, what was your first role? You were 15. You got a part in Timeserver or something like that.
Yeah, I was still in high school. Gosh, I think it was probably around 2003 or 2004, I think. But my first role was in a movie called Timeserver that my dad had seen an ad in the newspaper that one of the local towns was holding auditions for a movie. So I figured, well, I've never really auditioned before. I've never really tried to do anything other than, just school plays and stuff. So I'll give it a shot. And I've told this story a bunch of times, but it still makes me laugh to tell it. It was my first, real kind of movie audition, so I didn't really know what to do. So I went in my normal clothes, which was, black and red leopard pants and chains and fishnet and things like that. And, of course, they couldn't see me in the role, but they did like me enough to where they actually wrote a new part for me. So I still got to be in it, and I was really excited about that.
Wow. And is that movie available? Could people find that movie on DVD or anything like that?
Yeah. I think, gosh, I haven't been to the site in a while, but I think it's Timeserverthemovie.com. If you search for Timeserver, you can definitely find it online.
Yeah. Now that was your first gig. Now, how excited were you after you first did that? Like,
I was very excited, and it premiered at the Rialto Theater in Joliet, and we had I think it was over 1,500 people showed up for the premiere, and it was just a packed house. It was really fun. You know, it was my first real kind of movie experience, and I was excited to go up on stage and all that jazz. But yeah, I mean, I remember getting the call that they wanted me to be in the movie, and I just remember, jumping up and down and being so excited about it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's an exciting thing. And how old were you then? I mean, that you were probably really young.
I think I was 15 or 16, something like that.
Yeah, and that's at that age, that kind of a thing is really, really exciting. When you're older and it's a little different. You get these gigs or whatever. But at that kind of age, everything in life is more exciting whether you get on the stage and jam with somebody or sing, or you're an extra, or any kind of entertainment thing at that kind of age is exciting. Just like when I was 14, 15, I was playing bass with my brother and John. We'd jam in the backyard, and some people would come in. It's like, oh yeah, I'm like a rock and roll star. Yeah, it's just cool. You just feel so cool. So that kind of thing is really exciting at that age. Now, after you did that, right? What did you do? Voices from the Grave in 2006. You played the character Crystal.
Yeah. So from there, I've always been a big horror movie fan, and I used to go. Well, I started going to conventions with my dad, and seeing all the cool stars and everything like that, and I ran into Robert Bizarre, and I guess he really kind of saw something in me, and he kind of took me under his wing, and from there I got involved in this movie, Voices from the Grave, which was really cool because now it's because I'm still kind of at that young age and everything, but now it's getting more exciting because I'm going to film in Chicago, and they're closing down streets, so I can film at night and stuff, and it was a pretty interesting experience. It was an interesting character too.
You had a big part in that movie? Is it a big part, small part?
I had a supporting role. Yeah. I played a teen runaway type of character that was falling into the bad kind of crowd. So
I remember pictures from that. That was like those pictures of you, you're against the wall on the floor and all beat up. Is that movie?
Yeah, that's it.
That's around when I met you. I mean, we never met in person. See, what the funny thing is? Everybody who has been on my show, this is show number 14. I've done 14 shows so far, and everybody that I have on my show are famous people that are also my friends. So it's all, and we're personal friends. I mean, me and you never met in person because you live so far. I'm in New York and you're in Chicago. So but we're like family.
We go back a long way.
We go back a long way. I mean, at Christmas time, Michelle sent me homemade cookies in the mail, and we had a party with that and gifts for my little girl when she was born. So me and Michelle, I always tell everybody, I call her my little sister. But so there's a lot of people that might be listening out there around the world right now. We even though we're doing this show and we're asking questions, I want everybody to know that me and Michelle are very, very close friends. And same thing with Debbie Rochon and Steve Thompson and everybody else that I've had on the show are people that I've known for years. So it's a great thing, I guess, from being in the business for so long, and I've made friends with everybody, I think I could probably do 100,000 shows with big name people. Probably won't be enough time in my life to be able to cover all the people I know on the show.
I don't know how anybody could meet you and not want to be your best friend.
It's true.
You know, you're such a great guy to talk to. You really are.
And right now I'm doing the show, so I haven't even loosened up yet. Usually I'm a much looser guy, and I'm always like goofing around a lot. But I figure, you know, there's so much to talk about with all the work you've done that I figured let's, you know, because it's always nice to hear some of the stories on the set and things like that. And every time I like when I was talking to you and we were talking about everybody that I talked to say, wow, a whole hour, what are we going to talk about? And then I say to him, man, the hour goes so fast. It's like I didn't even get to the fifth movie yet, and the hour's already gone. You know, because you end up asking people. You know, I had Thomas Waits from the Warriors, and he starts telling stories about this on the set of the Warriors, and he was in Justice for All. So you know, start getting into these stories. Meantime, 20 minutes is gone by, and we're talking about one movie still. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. So Voices from the Grave was before Timeserver, wasn't it?
Well, no, it was after.
Oh, but the movie, it came out afterwards then, because I see Voices from the Grave was 2006 and Timeserver was 2007 as Dot. You played Dot?
Yeah, that was my character in Timeserver was Dot. She was a punk frat girl with a mohawk. I was really excited about that character, and as a lot of people who know me, they know how you know, I was always a very big Linnea Quigley fan, and when I first did that movie, I wanted my character to kind of have like a trash influence from Return of the Living Dead, so I was really excited about, you know, having leather and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you're really good. I mean, all the stuff I've watched with you and all the pictures I've seen with you, you have no problem dressing up freaky and doing whatever it takes to make it look good. You're really good at that. There's a lot of people like, well, I'm not going to wear that, or are you crazy? A mohawk on me, yeah. You know, there's some people won't even, kind of you know. Characters. Yeah, some people. There's some. I've worked with people on a set of movies and TV shows that, you know, won't even take their shirt off. You know.
Yeah.
On Oz, I ended up on many nice scenes because some of the other actors were asked if they would take their shirt off, and they no, and I said, yeah, sure, as long as you know. I said, no problem, as long as I don't show my butt or nothing like that or anything else.
Yeah.
That
it's
I won't
important
do.
To know your boundaries.
Exactly. There's a limit. There's people that just they'll go all the way with anything, but you know, I am kind of I must say I am a pretty choosy actor. I've turned down quite a few movies, and because of certain things I didn't like that they asked me to do that I really don't want to say right now because, you know, I mean, you know, let's put it this way. I'll say it in ways where it's not offending anybody, where they wanted me to grab the guy's privates, and I was like, no. Oh, come on, all you got to do is grab it and shake it, you know, like, you're the guy who was with Amber Lynn, and, you know, it was a movie, I forgot the name of the movie. And I said, no, I ain't doing that, forget about it. So I ended up not even doing the movie because of that little clip.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't touch no guy's privates, you know, with pants on or not, you know. So
we all have our limitations, you know, that we won't go past.
Yeah, you know, and I know you're the same way. You know, it's, you know, you go only a certain way. I don't think I know you for a long time, and you wouldn't go to that point either.
No, yeah.
There was quite a few girls on Knock Knock that were cool about that as well. It's like they didn't want to, you know, it were asked to show the you know, topless or whatever. They said, no, I can't do that. But let's get back to this here. Now I see Fred Claus. Is he related to Santa? Fred Claus, 2007.
Yeah, it's his brother.
Was it Santa's brother? His name is Fred?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, yeah. I got to hang out with Uncle Fred, my man. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was an interesting movie with, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. I've been writing papers all day, so my mind is kind of mush.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But that's probably a vague one, maybe that you don't remember too well. Now, also, for people I know, besides, you were just saying that all the people that listen out there, Michelle Shields is also at many, many conventions as a celebrity guest. And she's like me. I've been a celebrity guest, but I also go there even if I'm not a celebrity guest because I just love the whole convention thing. There's so much fun. And, I know Michelle, you look at her website and you'll see pictures of her at her table with tons of her DVDs and 8x10 pictures and signing autographs. She's a star, baby.
Yeah, I love doing conventions. I really love going and meeting people and talking to people. It's my favorite part.
Yeah, and
getting to know the fans.
And you've done some like Dorito kind of commercials. I remember you also they used you. They made some comic books about you as well, right?
Oh yeah. I'm actually the face of Comic Book Divas, company Comic Book Divas, and they have quite a few comics that feature me in them, which is really cool. And me being like a huge comic book nerd, it's just super awesome to like be in a comic book.
Yeah, I see the pictures of him. As a matter of fact, my brother Tony, he's Tony Sirchia. I think you're friends with him on Facebook. He's a fanatic with the superheroes and the comic books, and I was telling him about you. I said you should see Michelle Shields, because you have your collection of the pictures on Facebook of all your fun little figurines, the little statues, you got hundreds of them. Of all the superheroes and the monsters, and that's like my brother's like freaking out over there because he's so into that as well, So I said, you guys would get along great talking about that stuff. We're talking about it all night long,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
cool though, because see, you're really into it, and that's great because you're into the whole genre, that whole thing of you do serious acting, and you also do the horror movies and stuff like that, and that's what I'm saying. Horror movies is not serious acting; it's just as serious as any kind of acting. But I mean, in terms of you played the policewoman, you played, the bride, and the friend. It's not you didn't play a monster all the time. Like, you've been in horror movies, but not playing the scary person. You've been the scream queen.
Yeah, I've played on both sides, either the villain or the the woman in distress, what have you. So I've done a little bit of everything, and I mean I've always wanted to do more comedy, but I tend to find humor in everything I do anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's good because you're also very, very natural. I watch a lot of stuff you have, and you send me some movies that I watched from beginning to end. And you're very, very natural and very, very good. And the movies that you've sent me have all been very well made. I mean, like that's the Frankenstein movie. All the actors were very, very professional. You'll get some horror movies that you'll get one or two actors that are pretty weak. But everything you've sent me and I watched, everybody in the movie was very, very professional and very believable. Is what I'm trying to say. Because you always get. I mean, you even get some classic movies like Joe Spinell's Maniac, which is a cult classic. But if you watch the movie, you'll see some actors that are really weak in there.
Yeah.
And even tons of movies. There's tons of movies that are big, big, huge movies, and there's some weak acting in it, and it's okay. You know what I mean? It doesn't. A long time ago, it doesn't matter. People used to go to those movie theaters on 42nd Street, and there's these movies being made for $10,000. They would play them in the movie theaters. Back in the 70s and stuff like that. And the acting was terrible from beginning to end, but people still liked them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, a good enough story can really carry a film along, but usually there's got to be at least somebody that you enjoy watching on the screen, though.
Yeah. Exactly. But like I said, everything that you've sent me and everything I've watched with you is always really, really good. I mean,
thank you.
You sometimes you watch a movie and there's be some actor who hey, what are you doing over there? Just like not, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, just kind of stiff.
Yes, you left that in there. Like, oh, why'd you leave that in there? How about now?
Yeah,
Let's see.
I've been really fortunate to been able to work with a lot of really great talents because like you said, not everybody is always perfect. So it's really good when you can get a good crowd together and make something really awesome.
Oh yeah, because all you need is one actor that's weak in a scene, and it ruins the whole thing. I mean, I don't have to tell you. You're an actress and you work with so many people, so if like you're doing a scene with a person, they're like really, really weak, it's like, oh, they just ruined that whole part. Also, that one little clip in the movie will have people saying, oh, that movie was terrible, like that acting was bad. Meantime, 20 other people in there acted really good, and because of that one person, the people, it hits them like, like it hits a nerve almost.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's if you work with someone who's really talented, it's definitely going to improve your performance as well. And then if you work with someone who is, still kind of learning or struggling a bit, it does kind of hinder you as well. I mean, there has been a time where I've definitely, been working on a project and I asked, are you just filming me? Then could I just do this and not have the other person respond? Because sometimes, people just need a little bit more help, and I definitely, try to help people along when I can. But at the same time, I'm not perfect.
Right.
But,
nobody's perfect.
It's good to work. Yeah, it's good to help people along as well.
Well, as long as it's important too when you make the actor, whoever you're acting with, make them feel relaxed. Because you get some actors who they're cocky or they have an attitude, and they make the other person like kind of scared to even do the scene with them, and then that blows it right there. I've seen that happen many times. That people get intimidated because the other actor thinks he's Mr. Hollywood, and he's like, oh, in your small time, so they make you feel that way. Me, I've always made everybody feel great, whether it's an extra or somebody who's walking by. I talk to them. I say, hey, what's going on here? Because we're all working together, so you got to make everybody feel great.
Yeah, you gotta. In order to get a good product, you really got to be comfortable and work well with everybody. It's
exactly.
That's how great projects are done.
Right. Well, hold that note, Michelle. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back with Michelle Shields.
Do you want to discover the ancient Italy mass tourism has not discovered yet? Join Valentina Sirasola and her small group to a trip to Puglia, Italy, and discover a southern beauty. Spectacular views of an ancient land, tasty food, excellent wines, and friendly people are waiting for you May 12th through 21st, 2014. Wine Enthusiast magazine declared the region of Puglia the best destination in 2012-2013. Lonely Planet Travel magazine and National Geographic magazine said Puglia is the best value destination in 2014. New York Post described Puglia as the most magical region in Italy. Come on, get on board with Valentina for a trip you will never forget and live it up in Puglia, Italy. Get details by visiting ValentinaExpressions.com/trips. Valentina takes only small groups to Puglia. Get your seat on time by visiting ValentinaExpressions.com/trips.
Here is a well-documented fact. Humans spend approximately 33% of life in bed. That's a good reason to consider bringing your bed into the 21st century with Function All Linens. They'll change your bedtime forever. Designed for every kind of bedtime you can imagine, these fun and functional bed sheets have his and her side pockets that hold pretty much everything but the kitchen sink. The pockets allow you to have your cell phone, iPad, remotes, and anything else you need within your fingertips' reach at all times. No more cluttered nightstands. No more fumbling around in the dark. Simply reach for your pocket. Experience the affordable comfort and pure luxury that only Function All Linens can offer. For more information or to order, visit functionall-linens.com or beddazzle.com.
And we are back, folks, with the one and only beautiful Michelle Shields from the Chicago area, actress, model, and, superstar, comic book star, rock and roll star. Yeah, baby. So, Michelle, Michelle, look at me, Michelle. I said your name, I put it together. Instead of saying Michelle Shields, I said Michelle. That might be a kind of a cool thing to do,
Yeah, that works.
Michelle Shields. How about Michelle? Almost like when the honeymooners would say, Grandmas. Remember the honeymooners? When they said, we're thinking of a name for the thing. Let's call it Grandmas. So they Grandmas. So we're going to call Michelle Shields Michelle. Yeah, baby. I was only kidding. Now, let's get back to some movies. Yeah, I told you, this hour is almost flying, and we still got a million movies to talk about here. Now, what is The Dark Knight? You did that in 2008.
Yeah, The Dark Knight was one of probably the most exciting experiences I've ever had, being on the set of The Dark Knight, Batman, and me being, like I said, a huge comic book nerd and definitely, a big Batman fan. It was just like a dream come true to be a part of a Batman movie.
That was the real, actual Dark Knight. Eric Roberts was also in it. I didn't even know you were in that movie. What part did you have in that movie?
I was outside of the television studio. I was one of the people really angry about the hospital, threat and everything like that.
Okay.
But, and I was also in the bank scene in the beginning, but you can't see me in that part.
Where did they shoot? They shot that in your area, or you had to fly somewhere to do that movie?
No, it was filmed in Chicago. I worked on it for about, I think, around 2 weeks.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
even though I saw it was I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got to meet Heath Ledger. I got to meet Gary Oldman, Christopher Nolan. So it was a really, really cool experience.
Yeah, Eric Roberts, a good friend of mine, he was in there in that movie as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. He played one of the mobsters.
Yeah, Eric Roberts does everything. I mean, he films a million movies a week. He's in huge Hollywood movies, and he'll be in the lowest budget movie. He does it all. He doesn't care. As long as they pay him and he's happy. I've got him in a couple of movies. I got him in 2 movies with me. And he made some serious bucks for one day's work. I mean, by Hollywood standards, it's not serious bucks, but to me, 15 G's for a couple hours of work is all right. I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but what the hell,
Why not?
Why not? I mean, how many people could say that I made $15,000 in 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours of work?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, and then he's got the big Hollywood thing, but I know him. You know how long I know him. I've posted pictures of me and him up for so many times. The whole world knows that, me and him were friends. But now after The Dark Knight, same year, you must have been pretty busy. You had a couple of things going on in 2008. What is this called? Island of the Damned? Islands of the Damned? Am I saying that right?
Isle of the Damned, yeah.
Isle of the Damned.
I appeared on the DVD of that in a skit that I did for the World of the Weird Monster show.
Mm-hmm.
So in the skit, because the whole movie is by an Italian filmmaker type of thing, so the whole skit was kind of playing off of that, and I was pretending to be one of the characters in the movie, and it was a pretty funny skit. It was all kind of dubbed over in a comic way, so I think I had some woman with a really kind of deep voice dubbed over my mouth and stuff. It was pretty funny. It was I did a bunch of skits with them, and they were all really fun to do.
So that was actually dubbed. The whole thing was dubbed. What language?
Well, it was dubbed in English, but because we're Italian, it was we weren't speaking English, so it was dubbed in English.
Oh, you were speaking in Italian and it dubbed it into English?
Yeah, essentially that's what the whole skit was about, because they were all
I didn't know
we were all pretending to be Italian, the Italian actors from the movie.
But do you actually speak Italian? But I never knew that.
Oh no, I speak a little Italian, but I'm not fluent in it.
Okay, I know. Yeah. I know you're a paisan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a real paisan. And in the Frankenstein movie, when I watched that movie and you were in the wedding dress, I felt like I was in Sicily. I mean, you look like the little those Italian girls in Italy when I went to Italy, in Sicily, and all the girls have that look, your face, that the dark hair and
the veil and everything.
Yeah, you really look like a real little paisan in that one. Madonna mia.
Yeah, sometimes my Italianness really comes out. I actually was just doing a paper for my school about my nonverbal communication, and I had to film myself so I can, see what kind of things I do when I'm talking. And more than half the paper is just about how I'm constantly gesturing with my hands, and I'm like, this is because I'm Italian.
It's the paisan in you.
Yeah.
When you're acting,
so it definitely comes out.
When you're acting in movies, do you find yourself your hands getting up and doing a lot of the talking with you? You ever have that?
It's never gotten out of hand, but it definitely happens a lot. I definitely do a lot of gestures with my hands and things like that. And sometimes, a lot of like some directors I've worked with, they kind of see it and they laugh, and I'm like, what, should I not do that? And they're like, no, that's good. I like that you do that. Do it again.
Well, it's natural. That's why, because when you're talking like that and you're moving, look, I'm talking right now, my hand is up moving, and you can't see me, but that's what's happening. And it's a natural.
I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's a natural thing. Now, like, both of my hands just went up. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm noticing it. So it's a natural thing that you almost like, you're talking and your hands go up with it. So therefore, when you're shooting something and you're filming, it comes out really natural, because that's really, really natural right there. So if you're going to hold your hands by your side, you're going to look like a stiff, and that doesn't look right. So I always say, Joe Spinell always told me, just be yourself and remember your lines and make the lines you, and just be natural, and it flows out beautifully. No matter how your hands move, no matter what your face expression, just be yourself, and it comes across, because you're just being naturalness, just naturalness. Yeah. So now, you did a Cannibal Island Holocaust. Oh, my God, that sounds pretty scary. Cannibal Island Holocaust, 2008. What was happening there? Tell us about that one.
Oh, my goodness. You're just going through the whole list.
Oh, why not? What the heck? I mean, unless you want to go to something that's you've been doing lately. I mean, like I said, see, I go down the list, and there's never enough time for the hour to complete the whole list. So if you would like to skip a few, that's up to you. I figure I let the world know how much work you've done,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like we talked about earlier, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been a part of so many different projects.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
They can get kind of hard to keep track of.
Oh, yeah, same thing with me. I did so mmany things I can't even remember half of them. I forget some of the things that I've done, especially even TV shows. I did like so many episodes of Law and Order that I only remember one of them. I only seen one of them. I played cameraman. I played jurors. I played a reporter, and I only seen one of them, and I never seen any of the other ones. And that was on that show Ed tons of times that I forgot about. I don't even remember what was going on half the time. But I understand where you're coming from with that. So we'll skip that one. What is one of your most memorable? Give me one of the movies on the list that was one of the most memorable and favorite things that you did, like some stories on the set. Which one would you say that is?
I mean, like we said earlier, I'm as well, picky about the kind of roles I take and things like that. So, I know it's like a cop-out thing to say, but I really do enjoy all of the projects that I've worked on. But I'd have to say that Frankenstein, it was definitely at the top, one of the top ones on my list, because I grew up with, the Universal monster movies and, watching like Frankenstein, and so it was like really, really cool to be a part of a Frankenstein movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So for that reason alone, like I was really excited to be a part of that project, and I had a lot of fun with everybody on set. We filmed it. I think it took 3 weeks every single day. We filmed consistently. So, after being with people for that long, that consistently, you get pretty close with people. So I had a lot of fun on that set for sure.
Yeah, that's what happens. You become like a family. You're together every day, and you're like, actually some, people cry when it's over. It's like you don't even want it to end, Let's like keep going. Because everybody becomes like family. I remember on Oz, when I was on HBO's Oz, and then season 6 was the last season, and there were so many people. I mean, as people were getting wrapped, everybody would hug each other and cry, and there's so much of that going on. And it's true. It becomes like a family where you don't want to, you don't want it to end. But unfortunately, everything in life, even life itself
Yep.
has a beginning and an end. Everything.
Yeah.
You know? You open a book and it got a beginning and an end. You're born and it has a beginning and an end.
Yeah,
now I'm getting
exactly.
a little too deep here, but that's the thing, with everything in life, there's an ending, and it's like, and then you just let's do something else now, and then the next project, kind of the same thing happens depending on how long you worked on it. Sometimes you're better off having those things that would just last 2 or 3 days, so you don't get attached to a lot of the people.
Yeah, that one in particular, I'm really excited because it's finally coming out to DVD this summer.
Oh, cool.
And I think they changed the title to it, too. So now, instead of Frankenstein Day of the Beast, it's just called Frankenstein 2014. So that'll be in stores. And I'm really looking forward to it because there was a lot of, filming that went on behind the scenes as well that included in that was definitely a musical sequence where the whole cast just kind of sang Build Me Up Buttercup together, and I really hope that that's like an extra because I want to see it again, to kind of relive those memories.
You got to push the director, say, listen man, please put those things in the extras because those are fun. I mean, sometimes I rent the movie and I enjoy sometimes there's been times where I enjoy the extra stuff more than the movie.
Yeah, me too.
Especially, because with the movie, and then you just watch it for what it is, and then you feel that extra stuff that's funny as hell, things that go on,
Oh, yeah, and it makes you appreciate the movie, too.
Yeah, me and Debbie Rochon were talking about that. I saw a movie I forgot what the name of the movie was, when she was on my show 2 weeks ago, and I talked about, there was one movie I watched, the extra stuff, and she was talking that she was sitting on the deck in the backyard, and she was getting bit up by all these gnats, and there was millions of gnats biting her and all that shit, and she was freaking out. And it was funny watching her. Deborah Rochon has a certain kind of personality. So watching her say, "Oh my God, I can't take this anymore. I'm getting all bit up. This is really hard work." I mean, she's cracked me up. So that's some of that behind the scenes is a pisser.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the thing on Knock Knock, in the movie Knock Knock, there's a lot of extra stuff, but unfortunately, I was not in any of the extra stuff on Knock Knock, which was a drag. They had a lot of other stuff going on, the making of this and that. And that. But I wish that there was. The reason why I know there wasn't really that, because, I'm patting myself on the back, and I hope I don't sound too cocky, but the truth of the matter is, I don't think they had any footage of me, but they called me One Take Sal. So basically everything I did was one take, because I got it, down the first time. So there was really no extra footage of me to put on there that was funny or a mistake or a blooper or anything. Because
you got to start messing up on purpose.
What's that?
You got to start messing up on purpose so you can get in those blooper reels.
Matter of fact, I remember when Joe Ariola wanted me. There was a goof scene, and he wanted me to pull my pants down and run in front of the camera and moon the camera. And I said, "No, get out of here! I'm not doing that." He says, "Come on, we need something funny from you for the bloopers,
Yeah.
Oh no, and also because I was supposedly that scene, I was, I forgot I was supposed to be in a different spot, and then he wanted me to end up in the same spot when I'm not supposed to be there anyway, something like that. I don't remember exactly what happened, but he did say, "Sal, guys, go run in front of the camera and moon it." I said, "No, I think it'll waste film, So that's one of the reasons why I probably was not in any of the bloopers there,
Yeah.
And now, you see, this Frankenstein Day of the Beast. Now, what is this, Dark Worlds slasher? What is this? Something new? 2012.
Oh yeah, Dark World slasher from the mind of Zach Daggy. It's he's a writer, and he writes these different stories and things. And this is a part of the Dark World stories. Slasher is actually supposed to be the first part of a trilogy, but it's actually another one of my really favorite projects that I've been a part of as well. It's a short, so it's about 30 minutes long, but it's told through the eyes of the killer. And,
okay. So in other words, it's the camera is looking around, but it's supposed to be the killer looking, right?
Yeah, and the killer's monologues and things like that. It's like told through the mind of the killer, basically, and then I kind of come along, and it's not quite what you think is going on, and it gets pretty interesting.
Yeah, boy.
But it's definitely something that was right up my alley because it's the character that I played, Allison, a.k.a. Snow White. She was a really different kind of character, and it's not your typical kind of character that you'd find like in a slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really excited to be a part of that.
Could you tell us any like fun, crazy moments that might have happened on the set while you guys were shooting? Any silly stories?
Let's see. Silly stories from slasher. It was actually we shot that in about a weekend, and we had a lot of fun with working on set and everything like that. Actually, this wasn't on set, but I think it was Friday night, after the first day of shooting, I went back to my hotel room, and I was almost convinced by the middle of the night that I was being attacked by a poltergeist or something. Because I woke up in the middle of the night and I had sleep paralysis. So I couldn't move or anything, and I'm kind of freaking out, and it's dark, and I heard somebody walking around in my room, and I started freaking out. And finally I was able to move and turn the lights on, and no one was there, and I could not go back to sleep for the rest of the night.
Oh.
So it wasn't an on-set thing, but that's one of the most memorable things about slasher was it was a pretty creepy experience offset.
Wow. Well, hold that note, Michelle, because I think we have to go back to another commercial. Joanne, you got that commercial queued up? I think she does.
Every person who has a home desires to live in beauty, harmony, and comfort, says Valentina of Valentina Interiors and Designs. In business since 1990, Italian-born designer Valentina has been producing interiors and exteriors designs to suit and embrace mind, soul, body, and functionality. Beauty without functionality is only daydreaming. Valentina creates realities. Valentina's goal as an interior designer is to touch and transform people's lives while transforming their spaces. Visit her at www.valentinadesigns.com or call for design consultations online and in-home. 650-346-6349.
And we are back, folks, with the incredible, beautiful, amazing Michelle Shields, actress, model. Now, you know what? We haven't talked about that yet, because I've been posting tons of pictures of Michelle on Facebook and wherever else I could of her modeling. And they're incredible pictures. I mean, everybody's been, leaving comments like, whoa, hey, wow, oh, my God. Yes. Everybody's been putting comments like, oh, Sal, oh, my God, where'd you get her from? Oh, where did you find her? Oh. So let's hear a little bit about what's happening with that. I mean, the modeling pictures are incredible. You have blonde hair and, dark hair and wearing wild outfits and forget about, you know what I'm talking about. So tell us a little bit about what's been happening with the modeling career.
Yeah, modeling is something that I just kind of fell into. Working as an actress and things, you have to, do promoting and marketing and things like that. So modeling just kind of came naturally with that. And then especially working with Comic Book Divas and also Pickle Press, doing some comic books for them, I have to model as well so they can draw pictures of me and things. So I just kind of became a model over time, and I wasn't really sure how to do it at first because I never really knew anything about modeling or anything like that. But I just decided to think, well, I may not know how to model, but I know how I can act like a model.
Yeah.
So that's one way I was able to kind of get through that. And then over time, I've just been doing more and more photo shoots, and I've been really proud of a lot of the work I've been doing from it.
Yeah, and you know, the great pictures, and you know, you could get some great work out of that, because you know, there's also what they call print jobs. You know, I've auditioned for quite a few print jobs. Actually, me and Anthony Palladino from Oz as well. We both went on an audition for a print job. It was a magazine in London for a cigarette ad, a commercial, not a commercial, an ad, a picture. You know, you had to be sitting there with a certain cigarette in your hand, and they pay a lot of money. My friend Anthony got the gig, and it pays like about $3,500 for like a couple hours of taking pictures, and he made $3,500. I was like, so I mean, it's good that you're doing that, because there's nothing wrong with doing both. I mean, look at me. I do.
It's easy to do both. I mean, especially, you know, because films, it takes so long, you know, for post-production and then pre-production and everything like that. So, you know, modeling shoots is kind of like instant gratification. You can go do a model shoot, and, you know, there's really not a whole lot of waiting around or anything to do.
Exactly. And, you know, you just take pictures, and you know, these pictures could make tons of money. I mean, I know so many people that make a lot of money. You know, you go in the train stations and you see these, you know, these print jobs, or you see, you know, a chick holding a can of Coca-Cola or Pepsi with the straw in her mouth, and you know, you just walk past them and you look at them and you don't think much of it. But at the same time, I've been on the auditions, I know how much these people make. I'm saying, you know, these people walk by the train station and look at the poster, just look at it, and who cares? Meantime, you know, they paid the person sucking on the straw of the Pepsi can is like made, you know, $4,000 to take a few pictures, you know, and that's amazing to me. I never knew that they make that kind of money for print jobs. You know?
Yeah. You really can. I've been on a few auditions even for print jobs and stuff, and the pay was really, really crazy. I mean, even I had a teacher once who she was able to buy a condo with the money that she made from her print job.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And now more and more, now there's the YouTube thing, man, where people that are, you know, haven't even done anything, or put up some silly video and become multimillionaires from it. I just saw a show the other night. I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to think of something that I could come up with that would get like 20, 30 million hits, but I can't think of anything. You know, I was watching a show the other night. You ever see that's been on for like forever? It's got like 50 gazillion million views on YouTube. It's the guy who had the little child in the back seat, little boy who just came out of the dentist, and he was like kind of almost like he was drunk because do you remember the the parents and that kid were on a TV show the other night on being interviewed.
Really?
And yes, I saw it on TV the other night. He's much older now, the boy. And they so they asked him, they said, you know, what made you think about putting that video up on YouTube? He says, well, I did it as a goof, you know, my son was adorable. I videotaped him with my camera, my phone. I threw it up on YouTube, not knowing that it would do that.
Yeah.
So they asked him, well, how much money did YouTube get? How much did you make from that video? He said, well, let's not talk about prices, but let me put it to you this way. He said, because of that video, me and my wife both quit our jobs. We bought a house. We never have to work ever again, and our son has a tutor. He doesn't have to go to school. He has teachers come to the house.
Oh my goodness!
From that video. So imagine putting up a silly video up on YouTube, and people are making more money than people who are out there, you know, auditioning and getting parts in movies and writing songs and modeling. In the meantime, something silly like that on YouTube, people are becoming millionaires.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah. So you got any ideas we could come out with?
Especially with this, yeah, I wish. But especially with this other new site. Well, it's not new. It's been around, I guess, for a while. But the Vine, where people just upload like 7 seconds of video, you know, and they do kind of funny stuff all the time. A lot of these people I've seen where they upload so many 7-second videos that they start to get a huge following, and they're making a living off of this now too.
It's unbelievable. I mean, even everything has gone in that the computer world, the whole world of computer.
Yeah.
Even the record company people now, you talk to them and they talk about how many views you have on YouTube. It's like years ago it was like, okay, you could sing, you got a great voice, and now it's like you have to have 50 million views on YouTube before they even get interested in you. If you only have a million views, that's not enough. Yeah.
Yep.
But also, Michelle, we have always thousands of people tuned in every Sunday night. Now, maybe there might be some filmmakers out there thinking about doing a movie and listening to you right now. How could they get in touch with you? Is there an email address or right on Facebook? And maybe you want to, give a little information how they could get in touch with you if they want to use you for anything.
Well, anybody can go to my website, themichelleshields.com. And from there, they can see my portfolio. They can see my demo reel. I have a shop set up on there. I have other interviews where I'm gonna be next, things like that.
Right.
And from there, it also has links to my YouTube, my IZMB, my Facebook. I think even my MySpace account might still be on there, but I don't even think that is working anymore.
I don't even know how to do MySpace. I have 2 MySpace pages up, and I went to them. I didn't know. I was completely lost. I didn't know what you're supposed to do. I remember that was my favorite thing in the world. And now you go to it, I'm completely lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they even deleted all the old profiles, so I honestly have not looked in a long time, but I'm sure that's not even there anymore. But, you can definitely find me on Facebook there. That's probably the best way to kind of get a hold of me.
Okay, they could also Google Michelle Shields, and everything will probably pop up as soon as you just Google your name, right? That's how that usually works.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people say, I say, Google me, baby.
That's one way to do it.
Somebody said to me the other day, I said, oh, how can we find out? You see a movie, this, blah, blah, blah. I said, just Google me, baby.
There you go.
Now, Michelle's, I did it again. This must be something. This must be something that we're gonna have to make happen because this name keeps coming up. Why am I saying Michelle's?
It's just easy to say it that way.
You think? Has anybody ever said Michelle's to you?
No, I've had people call me Michelle before. It's like they go out of their way to really accentuate the letters, and then you just kind of run it all together. So I guess I've had each end of the spectrum as far as how my name's pronounced.
And how many times did anybody come up to you and start going, Michelle, my Bill, these are words that go together well, my Michelle. I just did a little Beatles and Elvis in there, if you notice, I put the other, my Michelle, and I will say the only words. Hey, see, I should be an Elvis impersonator,
Yeah, there you go. That's an option.
Now, you have any now what is, I was going to say, do you have any other conventions coming up soon? Anything going on?
Well, I always do the Wheaton All-Nighter every year, so I'll have that coming up. I think it's in August. Some of the conventions coming up, I'm still not sure if I'm going to be able to make them or not. I might even be doing a convention later this year in England. I have to see how that's going to work out, but that'll be really cool. I've been wanting to go there to that convention for a while, so I'll keep my fingers crossed that works out too.
Well, I know you've been very busy because, like I said, even when I emailed you, I said, my God, Michelle Shields must be really busy because I got Debbie Rochon on the show before you. I was trying to get you first, and you're just so busy. I actually got Debbie Rochon first, and you second. So you're becoming the super duper scream queen. You're the scream queen of the future, baby.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Well, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, hey, look, everybody, Debbie Rochon, and there's so many of them. There's Tina Kraus. They're all friends of mine, and they've been doing this stuff for years too. And there's also Susie Lorraine. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're all my buddies, and it's a whole clique of the Scream Queens from from a lot of those movies that Debbie has done, and I don't know if you're familiar with like Tina Krause or also Tiffany Shapis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know all of them, and it's like a clique. It's like the screen queen clique, and you've been working your way to it for a long time, and now I think you're like at that same kind of level, very close to it. I mean, a few more big movies, and that's what it takes. It was an old movie. I remember John Travolta said, just keep doing every movie you can make because you never know which one is going to be the hit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. It's all about what movies. I'm good friends with Erica Eleniak. She's from Baywatch and all that stuff. She's been in so many movies, and they're good movies. She's a great actress, but she didn't get to that standard where she's like a big movie star. Where I think she could have been. It all depends on the movies. She's a movie star, yes, but I'm talking about these movie stars that are collecting these awards at the Oscars or whatever you call it, like Meryl Streep and those kinds, the big Hollywood names. Now, there's so many actresses that Debbie Rochon, such a great actress. It's just the movies that you get and the parts that you get. It's just like a song. You have a song, and you get songs that are great that don't even get any airplay, and then you get some song that's completely lame and it becomes a number one hit because it's just being promoted that way.
Yeah,
so
that's how it works out.
Yeah, John Travolta said that on the set. He said, just keep always working in every movie because you never know which one's a hit. If you remember, after John Travolta's career was quiet for a while, he was still making tons of movies, but they weren't going big. They were just things were quiet. And then Pulp Fiction was another big movie, and that's what started it all up again.
Yeah, it really put him back in the limelight and stuff.
Exactly. And, you say to yourself, I mean, you couldn't touch him at one time when he sat Saturday Night Fever, Grease, Urban Cowboy. It's like, wow. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. It just, things got really quiet. And he was like not that he wasn't working. He was always working. It's just that it wasn't big. They'll go straight to DVD or straight to video kind of thing. So I mean that's why you just got to keep doing what you're doing, and sooner or later, you end up in that one part of that one movie that bang, boom, now all of a sudden, the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, just keep doing what you enjoy, and as long as you're having fun, right?
Exactly. Now you see, Michelle, remember when we were talking about how fast the hour goes? We only have 5 minutes left, so I want you to maybe tell us a real quick about another one of your favorite. Not real quick. We got 5 minutes, but what's this Mountain Mafia as Lily? What did you play? A mafia chick?
Yeah, Mountain Mafia was it was an interesting. I made a cameo in that movie with James Vallow and Dee Dee Smith. We filmed it here because the movie was filmed, I think, in Kentucky, and we shot a scene here. And we sent it to them, and they inserted it into the movie and put effects in and everything. So it was really interesting to do something like that, kind of like green screen type of stuff.
Yeah, that's like what Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder did for the Ebony and Ivory video. They were never actually together, Did you know that? You know that
cool.
video? Ebony. Yeah, they were never actually together. They just filmed things separately and then was sent in and was put together.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when that kind of comes together like that.
I did that with a few friends also that are in Chicago, Illinois. My friend, Chad Watson, him, and his friend Mike. They did a film, and they asked me to film some stuff. Like I was on the phone. He sent me the script, and I'm just like faking it. I have the camera set up on myself, like I'm on the phone talking, and then I sent it to him. And also he put it together where like he's talking to me. It's amazing. It seems like we're really talking. And that's on YouTube too. The movie's called McBeal. And, it's fun. It's a fun little movie. They make it with no money. And they just love putting me in there because I have a little bit of a reputation. I got a little name. So I think, hey, Sal Sirchia's in my movie now,
Yeah.
That kind of. When are me and you going to do a movie together?
I don't know. We've been talking about it for years.
Yeah,
gotta figure something out.
I am sure that if we lived in the same town, that would have happened because anything that I've done, I would have got you in. It's just that you live so far, and you want to try to get somebody in the movie. You want to be able to have them, paid to fly in. You don't want to have to start paying to fly in yourself and then paying for a room and all that kind of. It costs you, it costs you $5,000 to make a couple $100.
Yeah.
Depending on the film, So
yeah, exactly.
If we worked in the same town, we lived in the same area, I'm sure we would have been in quite a few things together,
Oh, yeah, we would have been a lot of stuff together by now, but
I'm
sure something will come up eventually.
Have you ever filmed in New York? Have you ever been to New York?
No, I haven't actually.
Not yet, huh?
No, it's like the one area of the U.S. that I haven't really been to yet. So
yeah, you've been to L.A. But have you been to L.A.?
Yeah, I've been to L.A.
Oh yeah, so the Hollywood thing is cool. I've been there. I love Hollywood. I love the weather there, and I just love hanging out on the Strip, walking around, and my cousin's also an actor. We had some fun over there. I got to go there one of these days again.
Yeah, it's a great place.
But L.A. and New York are like and you get a lot of good work considering you're Chicago, Illinois. Not that I'm saying it's a bad place. It's just like mostly a lot of acting is in New York and L.A. A lot of stuff
Sal,
going
it's
on.
10 a.m.
Is it? Okay. We got to wrap this up. Thank you, Michelle Shields, for being my guest. I love you, man. And say good. I guess if you want to say good night to your audience.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Okay. And I'll let you know the numbers tomorrow, Michelle.
All right. Cool.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. This has been a Mathis Media Hub production.